A guy picks me up in certain cars for a date, I'm just not going. Prius,
Make abortion legal, build clinics for abortion to free people of unnecessary fears. Make divorce easy and legal, and free people from the concept of marriage for life.
Someone convinced women that being a good wife and raising children is somehow a form of oppression, while working some boring job for a boss that can replace you the second you aren't needed is empowering.
The women here are a lot more traditional.
It seems like the women that are complaining are actually jealous that actual men of high value would rather date a family-oriented Filipino woman than a high body count American woman.
Hey guys, thanks for watching More to Life. Before I get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to make sure you get my videos as soon as I release them. Now, this video today is a doozy, man. It's going to go over everything happening with the feminist movement, pretty much everything happening in society and how it was planned by Satanists. And it was a woman who was a spiritual Satanist who conjured up demons. It's wild, guys. What you guys are thinking in your head of what you heard is true. And this video is going to show it. Let's hop right into it.
Sweet, what's up guys? Today we're going to be talking about Alice Bailey and how she's impacted the world today. Now, Alice Bailey was an English woman who moved to America. She was a part of the Philosophical Society alongside Madame Blavatsky. And later, she had an encounter that would change the world we live in today. Alice Bailey in 1919 had an encounter with what she calls a spiritual master, which asked her to telepathically dictate his teachings. After this, she went on to write 19 books, with her saying that she channeled her spiritual master in all 19 of them. So as Alice Bailey continues her teachings, she stumbles upon a 10-point plan which will improve the world and make it better. Now you can see this is straight demonic, and this spiritual master that I talked about before is in fact a demon. Just listen to her 10-point plan. Number 1, take God, prayer out of schools.
That's been done. Number 1 has been done. God and prayer is definitely out of schools. Let's go for number 2.
Number 2, reduce parental authority over the children and break communication between parent and child. Number 3, destroy the Judeo-Christian family structure and promote sexual promiscuity.
It shows Christ over the husband over the family. The husband is the umbrella over the family, right? He protects for the family, leads the family, provides for the family. It shows the wife is to comfort, teach, and nurture children, love parents, obey parents. The man is the husband. He bands the family together. That's what this is a picture of.
Number 4, make abortion legal, build clinics for abortion to free people of unnecessary fears.
Damn!
Number 5, make divorce easy and legal and free people from the concept of marriage for life. Number 6, make homosexuality an alternative lifestyle. Number 7, debase art and make it mad. Number 8, use the media to promote and change the mindsets. Number 9, create an interfaith movement by promoting other faiths to be a par with Christianity. And number 10, get governments to make this all law and get the church to endorse these changes. Sweet, so hopefully you realize that every single point that I just listed that was written in the 1920s has already been fulfilled today. And that's because the United Nations and world governments are the ones that are pushing this demonic agenda. You know, I want to make a clear link before I go. Now, Alice Bailey had a publishing company called Lucifer Publishing Company. I know, the name's blatant enough, but that company is still around today, just under a different name, Lucis Trust. And who do they financially fund? The United Nations. Alright, God bless guys, have a good one.
So, it's all connected, guys. Everything happening right now, everything you guys are seeing, with what's going on, women with divorce being so easy, it was all planned. It's all a nightmare. All right, let's keep going to the next video.
If a guy picks me up in certain cars for a date, I'm just not going.
But wait, are you trying to date the car or him?
I'm sorry, but you can't tell me if someone pulls up in this. Hold on, put it on the screen. Hold on. This Prius, no, I'd rather not go on a date.
Oh, she's a gold digger. Way over town.
And after watching this clip, I can understand why so many American men are leaving their country to find a good wife elsewhere.
Facts.
At this point, your chances of finding a traditional woman in the United States are close to 0. This is how I went down the rabbit hole that is Passport Bros. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically it's a movement of Western men going to places like Brazil, Thailand, or Eastern Europe to find a woman they can marry without worrying about her loving their wallet more than them. And that sounds like a really smart thing if you ask me. But I wouldn't be making this video if it was all that simple. Because Western women are now unhappy and are doing anything they can to shame those men for the most ridiculous reasons.
When you pay attention to the passport bros, like, they're getting women from, like, the DR, Colombia, the Philippines, Thailand, like, women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education, women that need them, women that need them.
Women are raised to be wives. They learn everything from birth, from their father, from their mother, how to be a wife and how to support your man.
Women that need them.
It's not even women that need them. It's women that treat them with respect.
So we don't.
Y'all know y'all don't.
Stop yourself.
That's not true. It's shocking that these women think that women outside the United States are uneducated, and these men are somehow looking for someone to oppress and exploit, while the truth is that many women in the West are not good wives.
Emotional, damn it!
Men don't look for masculine traits. Men don't want to come home after a long day at work to a woman that is a pain in the ass to be around. A man will happily support you and work hard to make not only his life better, but also yours.
He ain't lying.
Someone convinced women that being a good wife and raising children is somehow a form of oppression, while working some boring job for a boss that can replace you the second you aren't needed is empowering.
That need to be said again and again with fierce conviction.
Working some boring job for a boss that can replace you the second you aren't needed is empowering.
I just showed you guys why the women think that way, right?
Ladies, you were lied to. It's great that you are a strong and independent woman, but that's not something men are looking for when searching for a wife.
Let's say he just started his own business, but he makes $45,000 a year. Would you date him? You wouldn't be able to afford my engagement ring.
That's it, I'm done.
If you make $45,000 a year, it would take you 4 years? No. 8 years to afford. Wait, how much? I don't know anything about rings. How much is that? About $200,000. Girl, you want a $200,000? Are you insane? My ring has to sparkle from across the street. Like, you have to do that shit. It's gonna blind people.
Stop it. Get some help.
Like, I'm not a regular girl.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
She really thinks that she's not just a regular girl. Ask any man to rate her on a scale from 1 to 10 based on looks and personality, and her score will be between 2 and 3. Not higher than that. It's great to be confident, but this is not confidence. This is delusion. She really thinks that any man would buy her a $200,000 engagement ring. Girl, you are not worth that, period. And even if you find a man stupid enough to pay $200,000 for a stone glued to a piece of metal, that man could have invested that money into anything and get a better return on investment. Dropping that amount of money on jewelry is insane. In this case, she has no chance of finding a man like that. A man with that much money to waste on a ring can marry a model. So why would he go for the most basic-looking Tanisha with the personality of a bag of Doritos?
He's cooking on garbage.
I will never date American women ever again. I've traveled to South America. I've been to Colombia. Now I'm in Brazil.
First of all, I think we can agree that this is an above-average looking man. Maybe not a 10 out of 10, maybe not even an 8, but above 6 for sure. When men like him have to leave the country because all the women they can find are going for the top 0.001%, who have yachts and millions of dollars in their bank.
You're not going for guys even like him. They're going for the top 0.01%. The guy was clearly a Chad. And Chad's leaving, right? Extremely handsome brothers are leaving. Brothers that are not, everybody's leaving.
You know that the average and below average men are struggling.
I've noticed that the women here are a lot more traditional than the United States. Let me tell you, I've lived in Miami for over 2 years, and it's very flashy there. A lot of the women believe in this independent, I don't need no man mentality. And I know a lot of other places in the United States have that same reputation.
I gotta stop this. They got Lenny Kravitz playing in the background. American woman.
American woman.
Stay away from me.
Stay away from me.
Reputation where women want to behave like men and men want to behave like women.
Do you want a feminine man? You want a dude that's going to wear heels on Saturdays?
You don't have to be feminine.
No, I'm asking you. Do you want a guy that wears heels on Saturdays?
You don't have to be feminine.
Answer the question. Do you want a man that wears heels on Saturdays?
No, you're not answering mine.
Whose podcast are you on? All right. So, do you want a man that wears heels on Saturdays? Okay, so why would a man want a woman that acts like a dude? I'm just saying, like, yo, y'all expect us to accept masculine women. You're not going to accept a feminine man. So why should I accept a masculine woman? Like, I'm just saying, it's crazy. Like, y'all want us to tolerate your, but you would never tolerate mine.
Hell no. There's just this dissonance that gets created whenever genders become polarized. If you travel to
Exactly like I showed you in the first video, right?
countries like Brazil and Colombia, women over here are gonna behave like real women.
Well, it's natural for them to behave like real women when that's all they know, right? Compare that to the bisexual, blue-haired, baby-killer feminists, and you know why men are packing their bags and leaving to quote-unquote third-world countries.
The people who are trying to shame the passport bros are going to lose, and here's why. They need a moral high ground to shame you from, right? So they frame it as in like, we are actually protecting these poor, uneducated women. Meanwhile, we all know they don't give a flying about any of these girls. They would never donate to any of the causes that help these countries. They don't even know the problems they face. They want to say we're exploiting when there's more going on to make the iPhones their messaging from than us taking a girl on a nice date in another country. What's great is women are actually starting to clap back from these countries, which is amazing because basically their argument infantizes them and calls them all too poor or uneducated to make decisions themselves as grown women.
Everything he said makes perfect sense. To me, it seems like the women that are complaining are actually jealous that actual men of high value would rather date a family-oriented Filipino woman than a high body count American woman.
On that note, she was going in, right? She's doing her own little reaction video. So I'm not going to react to a reaction video, but I liked her point, so I threw it in there. But guys, I show what I showed you today so you can see it's bigger than a lot of guys I think. I think a lot of you guys know that. You see what's happening in the US and also in other parts of the world. But to see it on a level of it was planned since the early 1900s, even the 1800s, this has been a long time coming, right? So a 10-point plan was put out to do all of these things, to have kids not listen to their parents. It's been happening. Everything has been happening. Everything is done already. What's next, right? So now the passport bros was long overdue. And I think a lot of people are realizing that now, going, you got to look at what's happening. Look at the plan that they had set and then go, look at these passport bros. What's going on with that? Long overdue. Long overdue. Like a lot of people say, oh, they're just trying to separate you, the black man from the black woman, or men from the American society. No. Women are doing that themselves. Has nothing to do with us trying to do it. Danica Marie explained it perfect. She said, you know, a guy getting beat up. I didn't go through getting beat up that much, but I went through it somewhat. Hearing these things over and over after a while, it's like, I'm done. So it needs to be accepted. I wish more women would accept it. Sometimes I have women in my comments trying to clap at me when I think I make total sense with what I showed you in the first video. Explain to me after that and tell me how it doesn't make sense for guys to make this choice. That's all I got to say. Because when you start to realize certain things that are happening and how deep it is, you understand. This is the way.
Passport bros. Passport. No.
There's more to life than dealing with that.